of a life by another. While there are 6 possible homicide charges under Kentucky law,
grand jury just indicted one officer on the criminal charges in the Breonna Taylor case.
Investigation showed
this is the black DA
the grand jury agreed
bear with me.
Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in the return of deadly fire after having been fired upon by Kenneth Walker. Let me state that again. According to Kentucky law, the use of force by Mattingly and Cosgrove was justified to protect themselves. This justification bars us from pursuing criminal charges in Miss Breonna Taylor's death. The truth is now before us. The facts have been examined, and a grand jury comprised of our peers and fellow citizens has made a decision. Justice is not often easy, does not fit the mold of public opinion, and it does not conform to shifting standards. It answers only to the facts.
I want to show y'all his picture. I want to give y'all a visual.
With this in mind, we must now ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Will we continue to prosecute the charges brought in this case as it now proceeds through the justice system and moves to trial? That is our responsibility. This will be done while the FBI continues its investigation into potential violations of federal law. I know that not everyone will be satisfied with the charges we've reported today. My team set out to investigate the circumstances surrounding Ms. Taylor's death. We did it with a singular goal in mind, pursuing the truth. Kentuckians deserve no less. The city of Louisville deserves
this is Daniel
no less.
Cameron.
Every person has an idea
the district
of what
attorney.
They think justice is.
No, Attorney General
My role
Daniel
as special
Cameron.
prosecutor in this case is to set aside everything in pursuit of the truth. My job is to present the facts to the grand jury, and the grand jury then applies those facts to the law.
So Brett Hackinson,
on emotion or outrage,
one of the 6,
there is no justice.
was charged with 3 counts.
It's not justice. Justice sought by violence.
Endangerment in connection with the raid on the
It just becomes revenge. Okay. And in our system, criminal justice isn't the quest for revenge. It's the quest for truth, evidence, and facts, and the use of that truth as we fairly apply our laws. Our reaction to the truth today says what kind of society we want to be.
It's pandemonium outside.
The truth, or do we want
Remember
the
I told
truth?
you they called the state of emergency for this event. I just told y'all that.
Are we content to blindly accept?
So the activity outside right now
of events
is crazy in Kentucky.
We as a community must make this decision. I understand that Miss Breonna Taylor's death has become a part of a national story and conversation.
I hope y'all heard me. My fault.
We must also remember the facts and the collection of evidence in this case are different than cases elsewhere in the country. Each is unique and cannot be compared.
It's crazy in Kentucky right now. It's a bunch of people outside the courtroom. I wish I could give you the visual. Let me see. I think they might give you out a visual on here. Not sure. But yeah, Kentucky, it's not sitting well with nobody, this decision. I pretty much told y'all this was gonna happen. But yeah, this is the Attorney General, the black guy, of course, who they got to speak just to calm everything down. But he's telling you why he feels like it was justified just to charge one person. And he actually made the raid seem like it was justified. It wasn't a no-knock. So he said a bunch of key things that he was told to say for the situation. So just playing a little bit of it. And this is the visual of the dude right here, just being a puppet.
There will be celebrities, influencers, and activists who, having never lived in Kentucky, will try to tell us how to feel, suggesting they understand the facts of this case.
He's talking about Tamika Mallory
and the Commonwealth better than we do.
He's talking about Tamika Mallory and the celebrities that's out there.
Let's not give in to their attempts to influence our thinking or capture our emotions. At the end of the day, it is up to us. We live here.
He said, listen, you heard what he said? Let's not give in to their thinking it. He's trying to start the divide. He's starting it right now. So just pay attention.
Together. We work here and raise our families here
We Kentucky.
together. I urge
Kentucky
those
stay with Kentucky. Fuck those outsiders.
to remember this. Peaceful protests are your right as an American citizen. Instigating violence and destruction are not. I've spoken with both Mayor Fisher and Governor Beshears.
Nobody's instigating no violence.
And I urge them to do what is necessary to maintain law and order and to protect our cities and our people. We have a long road ahead, both as we pursue this case through the criminal system and as we address the pain in the Louisville community. I'm committed to being part of the healing process. When tragedy occurs, we must mourn.
This dude said the use of force by two other officers was justified to protect themselves. Like he's just, one former officer was charged with wanton endangerment. Wanton endangerment. Look that up, y'all. Do your research. Two other officers who fired shots were not charged at all, okay? Protesters have begun in response to the grand jury's decision. Taylor was killed in her own home when 3 Louisville police officers executed a no-knock warrant. Now, this guy is trying to say it wasn't a no-knock warrant. Like, what the hell is going on, man? Like, please, let's stay woke and aware.
We must also do everything we can to prevent it from happening again. Today, consistent with that view, I'm announcing that I will create a task force to review the process for securing, reviewing, and executing search warrants in Kentucky. The task.
All right, so now he's starting a task force. So this Breonna Taylor situation has brought up him starting a special task force that view these type of situations with executing warrants and things like that. So, but why would you do that? If nothing was wrong, why would you have to create this new task force if nothing is wrong? That's what I don't understand.
Force will consist of a variety of stakeholders, including citizens, members from the law enforcement community, representatives from the judiciary, defense attorneys.
What he pretty much is saying is being funded by the elites. He's not talking about nobody local, not nobody, I don't got no money. This needs money, and whoever's gonna fund it is gonna have an agenda for it. Please trust and believe that. Nobody's funding it without having their own agenda for the outcome of that. So let's stay woke, y'all.
Elected leaders.
Elected
I'll be
leaders.
issuing an executive order in the coming days to create this task force. I believe conducting a top-to-bottom review of the search warrant process is necessary to determine if changes are required and establish best practices. You have my word that I will also vigorously prosecute the criminal charges announced today. I can assure you that my team of prosecutors will continue to give this case their attention and time. We'll also continue to support the good men and women of our law enforcement community.
Yeah, right.
Who put their lives on the line every day to protect and to serve. And I will fight for those across our state who feel like their voice isn't heard,
I want to know
feel
what's
marginalized,
right now.
judged, and powerless to bring about change. In a world that is forcing many of us to pick a side, I choose the side of justice. I choose the side of truth. I choose a path that moves the Commonwealth forward and toward healing.
What side are
you have that choice as well. Let's make it together. Thank you, and God bless. I'll now take some questions.
What side are you picking?
I will get into the specifics of the makeup of the grand jury.
Damn, where's Timmy? Here she
Well,
goes.
who shot the other 5 bullets? Is anything bullets hit Ms. Taylor?
I'm spelling her name.
Based on the evidence, there's nothing conclusive to say that Detective Hankinson's, any of his bullets hit Miss Taylor.
Man,
I'm curious, what your message would be to
all of them niggas, man.
support the community?
All of them niggas should pay, bro. Mass nonviolent direct action training. Justice for Breonna. I wish she was live right now. I wish I could give y'all some live footage from Tamika. This girl is so powerful. But I know she's out there. So shout out to Tamika Mallory. I know she's out there. It's probably everything's not for show. You know what I mean? So justice for Breonna, man. Like I told y'all this was gonna happen. I knew this shit was about to happen. I told y'all if they start in that state of emergency, then that means all of them dudes not gonna get acquitted at all. That I knew already. So this is just about the awakening. Ex-cop indicted, 2 others said to be justified in use of force with the Breonna Taylor. Protesters in Louisville and supporters across the United States have called for justice for Breonna Taylor for more than 6 months. On Wednesday, a Kentucky grand jury indicted one of the 3 police officers involved in her shooting death. Charges of wanton endangerment for shooting a gun in 3 neighboring apartments. Former Louisville police officer Brett Hankinson is facing 3 felony charges. 2 other officers involved in the shooting were not charged. Taylor, 26-year-old ER tech, was killed after officers used a no-knock search warrant at her apartment. But the AG just said, it wasn't like the search warrant was warranted. It wasn't no knock. Like they had probable cause to just run up in there. They let themselves be known and all of this shit. Determination. Yeah, I mean, it was bullshit. I told y'all it was gonna happen. I don't think everybody should be out there going crazy. We need to relax, find a legal way to go about this. It's like I said, it's not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise at all. You understand? Didn't see this was gonna happen, but I had to tap onto it. But hey, listen, shout out to everybody that's doing their homework. So shout out to everybody that's woke. You know what I mean? That's all this is for, to just raise the conversation, especially in your households. Talk about it with your boys. Talk about it. Talk about what's going on in the Red Room. It's the new CNN. This is the real CNN, like where you getting the real news. I'm not just touching on frivolous shit. It's not gonna happen at this channel. Y'all could get that with them other guys, okay? But yeah, Breonna Taylor, one dude is found guilty. He has the felony charges. The rest of the dudes might still have their jobs. So, I mean, that's just how it's going. We got to do better. Shout out to Nika Mallory, my son, and the whole coalition out there fighting for justice out there on that side of the table, you heard? With that being said, this is the Reverend Podcast, man. Free Nuke until Nuke is free. You understand what I mean? Regular.